What are the top mistakes your clients make before they engage you?
Ooh, that's controversial. So what I often find is that sometimes my clients will actually engage a VA first. Whether they're onshore or offshore, it does make a difference. So offshore VAs are usually the go-to. They are cheap, they are easy to get, work for practically nothing. So the problem with that is that they actually take twice as long to manage. So if some of our clients have gone and hired offshore VAs, they've done that with no processes in place. Now, offshore VAs are very well known about they are process driven. So if it does not fall inside a process, they do not know what to do. They will stop and do nothing. Or they'll ask you a million questions and won't put a process together because you didn't say you needed them to put that in a process. They also aren't very good at writing processes either. So it's not a very strong suit unless you get a specialist in that area. Then you've got the onshore VA, which can be quite effective, but still they might not have very detailed processes. Or if they do put them together, they don't look at the efficiency of that particular process. They're the jack of all trades, so they're doing bits and pieces. They may not always have the ability to prioritize. They usually rely on you for more direction, which is why you bring in an OBM or a fractional operations manager so that they can manage that for you. They can make sure that there's efficiencies in your processes, that the processes are idiot proof. This is super important. It's one thing that I'm a big believer in. So videos, screenshots, details. We cannot take for granted that not everyone knows where a button is in Xero, for example. Not everyone knows all those little minute details. So screenshots and videos are also super important. Everyone learns differently as well. So when you're training and hiring a team, you want to make sure that there's multiple ways for them to understand that process, which is why we use those 3 steps. The other mistake that I quite often find clients make is they're not very good with managing their money. So I will have questions with them on the onboarding process around how do you keep track of your numbers? Are you profitable? Most of them have no idea. They'll come back to me and they'll go, well, there's money in their bank account at the end of the month, so I must be doing all right. It makes me cringe and it's a pet peeve. But the other thing that they also do is they assume that whatever's money is left in that bank account is theirs to spend, and they haven't put away their tax or they haven't put away their expenses into another account, so they don't know how to manage their money effectively. So quite often we come in and we put some of those processes in place where we set up separate bank accounts within their systems, make sure that they're putting their tax aside so they don't have a bill and don't have any money to pay it. They put aside all their income that is required for expenses and wages and salaries and super and all those different things. They have it all set aside. They even start putting aside a profit account, so a portion into a profit account, which is where they can reinvest into the business later on.